Hey, it's the Max82, and welcome back to the Max82 Variety Channel. Today we have some sad news on the channel, and I don't take this stuff lightly. We're gonna have to be rid of something important, something that's been here in my life for a long time. But before that, I'd like to give it a proper send-off and just talk about how important it was to me. Today is a somber day in Max 92 land. My old DS game case is much too battered, broken, and ancient to really live on anymore. I've taped it back together. It holds in the game case part with these plastic flaps that have entirely fallen out and are subsequently just taped back on. And honestly, this is a kind of a trash case and is also taped back together in spots. So I've taken it upon myself to finally, this is my DS game case. This has been my DS game case since I've had one. I've finally taken it upon myself to go purchase another one. And so it's a somber day with which we send off my ancient DS game case and replace it with this shiny new one. I actually kind of thought this would be smaller. Got a thank you card from whatever random company makes this. This one I just bought on like Amazon. It looked like it held at least as many games that this one did. So we're gonna go through the games I have here, and we're gonna put them in the new case. So this is the first game I got here. The Lego Battles Ninjago. I bought this one more recently because I grew up with, when I was younger I had Lego Battles, the original one, and I was into Ninjago, but I never had the Lego Battles Ninjago game. So I figured I'd buy it to see if I could play some of it and compare it to my memory of that. Next up here we have Pokemon Dash. This was one of my sister's games that I have ended up with. I don't think it saves, so it just doesn't work. I probably should get a new copy and see if I can get one that saves. This next one is Prism, Light the Way. I bought this a couple of years ago at like a secondhand game store because it looked interesting. I don't think I've played that much of it. Next up here we have Guitar Hero On Tour. I really liked the DS Guitar Hero games. I had two of them. I had On Tour and On Tour Decades. I think I'm currently missing Decades, but On Tour is a solid game. And I've been playing Clone Hero on my PC, and those are the only games I can play Expert because those ones only have 4 buttons. I've not worked myself back up to the 5th button yet, entirely. Next game up here is actual Lego Battles. This is a copy that I bought recently because a handful of my DS games over the years have just disappeared. I don't know where they went. So I didn't actually have my original copy of Lego Battles anymore, so I bought a new one so that I could play the game again. Next up here, we got Plants vs. Zombies. The DS is probably the, or a mobile phone, it's probably the premier place to play Plants vs. Zombies. It's a really good tower defense game. I highly recommend Plants vs. Zombies. I was playing something the other day, some like random game I'd gotten through Amazon Prime Gaming, whatever, and Plants vs. Zombies was something that brought to mind. I was like, I would so much be rather playing actual Plants vs. Zombies than whatever this is. Next up we have Big Brain Academy. This is one of those games that actually, like, my whole family played back in the day. We all played on this cartridge. I've not played it in years, but I still have it, so that's cool. The next game here is Nintendogs. Nintendogs is a really cool, fun game where you where you got dogs. You got digital dogs. My digital dogs have not been taken care of in years. They're probably okay, though, since they're digital. And then following that with another game is The Sims 2 Pets. This is... It's not really The Sims, like, in more regular terms. You are basically, you're running a veterinary office. And so it's The Sims, but you're running a veterinary office. So you also have to, like, your sim has to... You're a bit more hands-on with the job. So it's a more specific experience than just regular The Sims. The next game I got here is Chessmaster. I've always kind of been into chess, at least a little bit. And this is something that I played, and I was not very good at it. I am not good at beating computers at chess. Computers cheat at chess. So, I don't play that much. I just still have it. Now we have here Goosebumps Horrorland. I actually have 2 copies of this game somewhere. The other one's in like a individual case. I don't know exactly where it is. And I believe this is my copy, because the other copy was somebody else's copy that got left at my house or something. Now this, the reason I have this is because back in like middle school or something, I was really into the mini-series of Goosebumps books that was sort of collectively the Horrorland series, where it was sort of, the book had its own story in it, and then it had like a conclusion chapter that connected to a bigger narrative that was going on based on the Horrorland Park, which is a different, older Goosebumps book, One Day at Horrorland. This, I believe, is based mostly off of that newer Horrorland, like from 10 years ago, Horrorland stuff, rather than the original book. And it's really not that good of a game. But I played quite a bit of it, because it was cool to me at the time. The next game I have here is Flash Focus. This is kind of like the Brain Age, Big Brain Academy, I mean. This is also one that I think that like my whole family kind of played, but it was my game, so I have the cartridge. Then we have Line Rider DS. Like that Prism game that I mentioned before, this is also one that I bought more recently. And I played a little bit. I really liked Line Rider when I was a kid. You know, Line Rider's cool. It was a cool website. It's still around. It's a cool website. And so I was like, what even is Line Rider DS? And it's not worth buying, really. It's just Line Rider, but you're playing it on your DS. I mean, I guess if you want Line Rider on the go, fine, but like, you don't need it. You don't need it. Next up here is Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. I've not actually finished this, but I've had it for a long time, and I've played a decent amount of it. It's a fun game, and not quite done here, but we're almost done with everything that's currently in here. Sonic Rush. I've played a lot of this game, but I got stuck on like the water level, and so I used an action replay maybe? I don't remember if this game has built-in cheats, but I think it was using like a buddy's action replay. I just sort of unlocked the last levels, like unlocked all the levels, and I've beaten all of the bosses at the very least. So that's all that's currently in here. I used to have so many more DS games. I'm gonna go grab a couple from the other room that aren't currently in here to put into the new case. So I'll be right back. So, while I was over there, I wanted to show off my other DS game case, and in the process I could probably put Pokemon Ranger over in this case. But all my Pokemon games live in this other DS game case that is in the shape of a DS Lite. But Pokemon Ranger I'm going to take out and I'm going to put over here because there are 7 games in this 6-game case, and there doesn't really need to be. I just felt like separating out my Pokemon games, and I didn't play that much of Pokemon Ranger compared to these other 6. So they get to live in the Pokemon DS game case that I have. But the real things I went out to get were these. I had a copy of New Super Mario Bros. For the DS here, but my copy, the connectors on the back on my copy got too corroded for the game to work. So I bought another copy when I was at a gaming convention recently. So that's going to go on in this case with the rest of the games. It's nice that this one's complete. I didn't even look at it. And then the other game, I didn't have this game, a friend of mine had this game, and it's cool. I think this is maybe the definitive version of Super Mario 64, honestly. So, I figured I'd pick up a copy for myself. So, got this also at the gaming convention that I went to. And that can also go right in here. So that's all the DS games I have, but I should, somewhere out there, I'm missing a whole bunch of games. Like I said, my original copy of Lego Battles, Guitar Hero On Tour Decades I should have, it's not here, and just a variety of other games that I remember having, and they're just not in here. They're just not in my DS games, so I don't know where they went. But now I got a new case, bought it online, to hold the games, and we can send off this ancient creature into its next life.